Hi, I'm Brainerd Carey, Director of Praxis Center for Aesthetics, an online school for artists that helps them build their careers in a variety of ways and meet other professionals in the field. Today, I want to talk about collaboration. Collaboration is really important because as an artist, you're used to working alone, right? Everything depends on you when you start, when you end, what time you go to work, how the work gets out into the world, whether you're writing to galleries or grants. It's all dependent on you, and it's in a way it's kind of a heavy burden, right? There's everything is resting on your shoulders, including your success, including your just ability to make art. So one way to ease that burden and make things a little more fun and bring some fresh energy into your practice is to collaborate in some way. And collaboration can mean, if you're a visual artist, it could mean working with a poet, developing something together. It could mean working with a musician. It could even mean working with another visual artist. And so a collaboration is wide open. There's so many things that it could mean and it could be, but essentially it means, instead of saying this is my art and that's your art, we're going to decide to collaborate together. So what are you going to make together and who you're going to choose to collaborate with? Well, it begins with a conversation, right? If there's an artist you like, or a poet you like, or a musician you like, or some artist that you want to work with in some way, you can approach them and say, hey, I'd really like to collaborate on something with you, and I thought it might be good to just to meet and to talk about that collaboration to see if it's possible. And then you can meet and talk. Who knows what might come out of it, a video, a painting, a different way of working or seeing or something like that. Um, so collaboration is powerful because not only is there surprises in it, and it may fail, right? You may work with somebody, collaborate on a painting, or a painting that incorporates their poems, or some artwork that has music accompanying it and is made into a kind of a video. Whatever it is, you may decide that it doesn't work in the end, and that's okay too. It's a learning process. Some collaborators work, collaborations work better than others. But the collaboration could also be not just between you and an artist. It could be much bigger. It could be a collaborative group. So let's say you picked 7 artists and you decided we're all going to collaborate to make an exhibit that's based on a theme, and we're going to talk to each other about it. And this could go on for forever in terms of ways you could approach this, but there could be, again, visual artists, poets, musicians, filmmakers, other people in here who are collaborating on a theme. So perhaps the theme is to advance a social or political or local cause or charity, or maybe it's to advance some other kind of theme you think is important to have out in the world right now and in your community. All these artists are now collaborating to get a particular message out. I mean, this is one way. The message could be, the world needs more color. So these are all about different types of color. It doesn't have to be kind of literal and specific, but you're all collaborating. And the power of collaboration is not just that it takes you outside of yourself and gives you kind of new ideas, but also the marketing is powerful. Because even if everybody just invites a few of their friends to the show, to see the show, if it's a physical show or an online show, if you have 7 collaborators and they all invite, several friends, that starts adding up pretty fast. And now you have a lot of eyes on this show and a lot more interest, and the potential of having a review or sales grows. But collaboration is also it's just exciting energy. It's exciting to work with someone who you might or might not relate to. And again, the project could fail or succeed, but it has a lot of advantages whether it does fail or succeed. If it fails, you've learned something about how not to collaborate, or that if you're going to collaborate, you have to be clear about what you don't like. It's sometimes it's hard to negotiate and say, oh, I don't like that contribution there. I don't think the word should be directly on there, or whatever it is. How do you speak and collaborate so that you make yourself clear, and how do you also listen so that the other person feels heard and seen, and at the same time that you have the ability to both reject and accept each other's ideas for a final work. So these are the kind of things you'd learn even from a failure, and they're the kind of things you would definitely learn from a success. So I would suggest you try that, because it just begins with going to some shows, concerts, events, anything, or looking online, someone local, and reaching out and saying, would you like to collaborate? I have an idea. We could knock some things around. You can meet them on Zoom or for coffee. And again, the thing about this that's powerful is collaborations are popular in the art world. It's nice to see a collaboration. It brings a different kind of energy to artwork, but also it allows people to combine marketing efforts, which just means telling your friends to come see it, or even purchases, telling collectors or friends who might buy or family to come see it. So collaboration is something that we see in the grant world even more now. There are grants for people who may want to collaborate with, let's say, a scientist or someone outside their field, which is also really interesting. As an artist collaborating with a scientist, you're both learning enormous amounts, and you're going to maybe create something that's a combination of what both of you are thinking about. So I hope this is helpful. I hope you decide to collaborate. And if you have any collaborations or have done some, I'd love to hear about them in the comments below. Because collaborating is, again, it's a great energy. It feels really good. It's another way of getting outside of yourself, getting your art out into the world. And it's also very powerful, because the marketing of two or more people working together grows, right? Newspapers, reviews, critics, others take interest, because this is now a larger idea than what one artist is thinking. And of course, individual artwork is fantastic, and that's the bulk of what you do and what most artists do. But collaborations are also very powerful, and even the failures are great to learn from, but the successes are also wonderful and can be stepping stones to other things in your art. So I hope this was helpful. If you have any comments or questions, post them below, and I'll do my best to answer them. And if there's other subjects you want to see addressed here in terms of your art, don't hesitate to suggest them, and I'll do my best to make a video about that. Otherwise, I wish you well in your studio practice.